Hello, it's Lori with Giggle Girl Arts. Thanks for stopping by. I finished my 5 days of Christmas journal. That was a collaboration by DearJulieJulie and Kara Brandon using two of their digital kits that they made up. And now I've started my December Dozen and Done journal for Dear Julie Julie's challenge. Hashtag DDDJJC 2021. What we're doing is we're making 12 elements for each category. There are 6 categories. So we're supposed to finish at least one journal that has 60 pages, and possibly more is the idea. So it's a dozen items for each category, and she has spelled out December. So D is Dear Julie Julie Digitals, and I am using these. E is envelopes, C is cards, skip the second E. M is material, which is any type of fabric. So these are the ones I may be using. B is for book pages, skip the next E, and then R is recycled items, and here's some of the ideas that I've got for recycled items. I do have a journal I started and want to finish. All right, so here it is. I started a cover, and I've picked out some pages to put inside. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the cover the same or not. I may end up taking it apart and putting a spine, depending on how many pages I end up with. So far, I've got this envelope with a tag that pulls out. It came from junk mail. And then inside, there's a flap on the cover, and it was made from the privacy envelope. I think it's the same one that's on the front. I collaged over it, and it's been a while since I made it, so I'm honestly not sure. And then I have a few of the scrapbook pages that come from the same paper pad. And then I've also started my D for Dear Julie Julie Digitals. So here is what I came up with. Now each item we have to embellish 3 times, and then the one that we're putting in the finished journal has to have an additional 3. So I started out, I have a library pocket, and because it was printed on copy paper, I added some coffee dyed paper back there to kind of continue with the antique feel. The 3 things I did on this one was stenciling, stamping, and inking the edges. I also made some hidden journaling cards. So this pulls out and slides back in, and most of them, what I've done is ink the edges and some stamping or stenciling, and then putting the card on it makes the 3rd thing. So I have that one, and it's double-sided with digitals. There's this one. I thought since I'm doing the papers have daisies on them, I would kind of stick with daisies. Plus, you know, who doesn't like daisies? Then there's this one, and I did it in the opposite direction. And I think most of these have come from the Antique Daisies kit and Daisy Field Journal, possibly. This one is from the Colorful Daisies kit. I did this one horizontally as well. And one more. And the index cards were coffee dyed as well. Then I believe this was a Patreon freebie from Dear Julie Julie. So I know I'm probably going to make a double tuck unless I just have it floating. It also came with a tag. And I actually printed this on the back of some scrapbook paper so that the envelope would, instead of having to line it, it would already have something inside. So for this one, the digital is the base, and what I've added to it is a cover patch from April's All About That base Dear Julie Julie challenge, and then stenciling, and this paper was collaged already, and then inking edges. Then I made this tag. This came from Sepia Spring, and I added a pocket, inked the edges, and I did stenciling and stamping. I really like this lace stamp. This is the one that's going to go in the journal for sure. So it's a big, giant journal, hidden journaling card. And I did the inking on the edges, the stenciling, the stamping. So that makes 4, the ribbon, and the little flower. Then these are going to be some flip-flop flaps. Flippy, floppy, flippy, floppy. I always laugh when I do that. Flippy, floppy, flippy, floppy. And they just have these little parts that'll, you know, adhere to the page. So that's my 12 digitals so far. And next I'll be sharing E4 envelopes. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like, especially if you like to do crafts. Subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know if you're doing the challenge as well, and let me know if you had a favorite. And I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.